Hi everyone, this is Caroline Speaks, the State of Our World on Thursday, August 27, 2020. What is it? Well, let's see if we can find out, okay? Alright, here we go, everyone, here we go. Now, the coronavirus, that nasty virus, is still with us. As of today, earlier this evening, there were 5,883,407 confirmed cases in the U.S. and 181,488 people have passed away from this virus in the U.S. So, what is it? What is it about this virus? Mismanaged from the start by Trump and his administration. They said it was a hoax, it was fake news, it wasn't real, it's going to go away, it's a virus. Children don't get the virus, children don't get sick from the virus. Children have died from this virus. Practice social distancing, which the president doesn't do. Wear a mask when you go out in public, which the president doesn't do. You're not setting a good example. He has to. Have to test everyone. Anyone who tests positive, you have to trace their contacts. And then you have to isolate that person who tested positive. Any contacts that test positive, trace their contacts. Isolate whoever has the virus, test positive, and get them well. Now, it's going to take years to get a vaccine. The best we can hope for is a cure and, treatment. That's it. There's no miracle drug that's going to kill this virus. There are lots of viruses around the world. This country used to have a department that dealt with keeping track of world health, worldwide viruses, and tried to nip them in the bud when they discovered them before they became epidemics, pandemics. But of course, Trump did away with all that. So we are left with a virus that has killed almost 6 million people. That has sickened almost 6 million people and has killed over 180,000 people. That's just in this country. So we need to protect those who are most vulnerable, those in veterans' homes, nursing homes, assisted living homes, and retirement homes. Those who are healthcare workers, we need them. Well, those who are first responders, we need them. Those who are essential workers, we need them. Those in prisons and jails and detention camps, farm workers, and agricultural workers. Now, the president, Trump, he had his Republican National Convention this week. He did it kind of like a virtual one. But times when they have a bunch of people there. Anyway, in Trump's 4 days of convention talk, he never mentioned the virus. He never mentioned the people who have passed away from the virus. He even never mentioned the people who have passed away from gun violence and from police brutality in this country. He's avoiding all the issues. Don't know why. I guess it doesn't look good. He's also changed his view on testing. Used to be test everybody. Anyone who has contact with someone who has the virus, test them and watch their symptoms, isolate them. And Trump is changing that. Well, if you come in contact with someone who has the virus, but you're not showing your symptoms, then you don't have to be tested. What's that all about? I don't know. That is crazy talk. But that's what we have. We have an election coming up in November. Make sure you're registered to vote. Learn about the candidates and issues that will be on your ballots to be ready to make an informed decision. And hope for the best. We really have to get rid of this virus. So many people have lost their jobs because people are afraid to go out. The restaurant industry, shopping, all kinds of stuff. So because of the virus, you're only supposed to go out when you have to, like go to the doctor, the drugstore, or the grocery store. And so that means that kills a lot of jobs. Now also, people aren't working, they don't have money to spend, so the economy's in really bad. So we have to get all that fixed. The first thing is we have to combat this virus. And that means wearing a mask whenever you go out in public, practice social distancing. And then we can do it. Yes, we can. Um, now, there have been a lot of protests over the death, murder of George Floyd by the hands of a white police officer in Minnesota. Those protests are still going on, but then there have been more things to protest against. There is a man in, where is it? Wisconsin, who supposedly who was not really doing anything. He broke up an argument among some people. He had his 3 little kids with him in the car, and he was going to his car, and the police stopped him. And the police officer grabbed his shirt and shot him in the back 7 times. What did he do? So anyway, that man, his name is Jacob, he's in the hospital now, paralyzed from the waist down. We don't know what's going to happen with him long term as far as his health. But he wasn't doing anything. Why did he shoot him? Why did he talk to him? If he was violent, he wasn't violent. He's trigger happy. Now, being a police officer is very dangerous. You don't know what situation you're going to walk into. But there were a bunch of police officers all together in Wisconsin when this happened. I don't understand. I don't understand. Now, then as a result, people have been protesting not only the murder of George Floyd, but the murder of this man, Jason Blake, in Wisconsin. And what's been happening now is we have these right-wing militia groups kind of mingling with a Black Lives Matter protests, social justice protests around the country, and they kind of blend in. And then they do violent acts, which makes the protesters look bad. The Black Lives Matter people look bad when they didn't do anything. It's the right-wing militias are doing this. And then you hear Trump calling we're going to send the federal troops to wherever they need it, Minnesota, Wisconsin. So anyway, I have a big problem here. We think we'll have to sit down and discuss this. We can get along if we try and don't use fear tactics. So what do you say we give it a try? See what can happen. Have you thought of dialogue, interfaith? I was involved with interfaith dialogue for a number of years, and I thought it was very good. So we can have dialogue, dialogue about criminal justice. Our dialogue was together, a couple of groups together, they share. Alright, now, I think dialogue is a way to solve this. So you want to have people protesting, wearing a mask, or staying quarantined, or doing social distancing. Yeah, it's a real problem, and we have to do something about that. And we have to have fair elections. No one should be prevented from voting. All citizens have the right to vote, and the census has to be done. That determines how much money is allocated to all kinds of areas in the country. And also, it determines representation. So if a state loses population, then they might lose a congressional representative. Who knows? So anyway, we have to do the census. Very important. It has nothing to do with citizenship or legality. Everyone who's here as documented or undocumented should take the census. Okay, that's enough of my spiel for today. Maybe it's time to have a little song. What do you say? Okay. Alright, let's give it a try. Okay, hang on. Okay, the song we're going to sing for you today is called Aunt Charlotte. It's about my Aunt Charlotte. We're from a really Hungarian family, and my Aunt Charlotte and siblings and parents came over here to New York from Hungary. So we had a very good time. We lived in New York, and yeah, so anyway, this is about my Aunt Charlotte. My aunt took care of my brother and I when my mom had to go to work. She also had a son to raise at the time, and she took care of all three. We all lived in New York City, my mom and us and my aunt and her family. We spent a lot of time together. I remember it well. I did not appreciate her all the time because I was just a kid. But now, when I look back upon those times and the later years, I know I had a great aunt. Now I wish she were here with me, but I know that cannot be. So I'll go on with my story. She loved to be busy and have a good time. She always thought of her family. She always put her family first, and then she could not take care of herself. Then came the day when my mom and I moved to California. My aunt was upset that we were leaving, but we said we would see them often. My mom and my aunt would talk on the telephone every Sunday morning. Sometimes I would talk as well. We saw them as much as we could. My aunt always talked about her family, her son, his wife, and her grandkids. My mom would listen, talk about hers, and the years went by. She had what it takes to be a good mom. She always thought of her family. She always put her family first, and then she could not take care of herself. Okay, that's my Aunt Charlotte. Hope you like that. And thank you for tuning in this evening, Thursday, August 27, 2020, for another meeting with Caroline Speaks, the State of the World. I hope you tune again tomorrow evening for another meeting with Caroline Speaks about our world. Remember, stay safe, take care of yourself and others, and remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Thank you. Stay safe. Hope to see you tomorrow. Good night, all.